We're at Coney Island. It's raining a little bit.
I think your GoPro's wet, bro.
The GoPro's wet, but it's all right because it can handle it.
Can we have a little kind of backgrounder here to explain why we didn't get on the rides today? The rides had just closed. We waited so long for Ted that a thunderstorm came in and closed the entire park.
I don't see one, do you?
But it was, well,
Look out there, it's beautiful.
there's something brewing.
There's something brewing.
Yeah.
I think it's my indigestion.
Wait, why didn't we read? Why didn't we ride the rides?
Because Ted takes a really long time to drink old fashioned.
What you got there, Ted? Cheers. There you go.
Old fashioned.
I heard you have a YouTube channel called The Art of Stalling.
Gordon's my bro. I'm just saying.
And you're afraid of it too.
I'm scared. I got scared.
Oh no.
Can you believe he's afraid of this ride?
What? You have to go!
Are you going, Patrick?
You got this!
I got it.
All right, we're doing it.
All right. Oh, look at you, the GoPro. Sweet.
What do you think here?
Hello, New York City.
Comment down below and subscribe to their YouTube channel!
So the A6600 is a 24 megapixel APS-C sensor camera. It's smaller than the full frame offerings. Some people are drawn to them for that reason. The smaller size of the bodies, the smaller size of the lenses. The A6600 is almost the same as the 6400 that came out at the beginning of this year. Same sensor, same body style, except the 6600 ups the game by including or changing it out to the new Z battery from Sony, which will give the camera, the 6600, the longest battery life of any Sony camera made, any Sony interchangeable lens camera made. So we have the new Z battery, we have a beefier grip, there's 5-axis image stabilization inside as well, and it's just a speed demon of a camera. This 6600 also has something I loved from the A7R Mark IV, and that is eye autofocus during video recording. So if you're a vlogger or you do selfies or you do video of subjects where you want to make sure your human subject is in focus, you can now shoot video on the A6600 and have those eyes totally get recognized by the camera. Therefore, your subject will always be in focus. For example, if you're filming yourself, it will lock right on to your eyes. Here's a quick example. Because again, it locks on to the eyeball. It's crazy. And if I interrupt this eye, it goes to this eye. Or block this eye, I should say. It's pretty amazing, the autofocus technology. So I didn't get much hands-on time with the 6600, but I did really also enjoy the new 16 to 55 f2.8 lens. It's going to give you a 24 to 70 equivalent in full frame, and this is a constant aperture f2.8 lens. Really, really nice, and it's a perfect mate to the 6600. But the 6600 is $1,400, so some will ask, well, should I go to the A7 III and pay $500-600 more? Because you can get a little bit of a deal on the A7 III these days. The A7 III is full frame, it's beautiful, it's going to give you a little bit better image quality in my opinion, also in low light. But the A7 III doesn't have the eye autofocus in video. That's really what you're losing, and you're gaining a full frame sensor. So it's up to you if you want to go full frame or APS-C. Full frame lenses will be larger than the APS-C lenses, but the cool thing is those lenses are interchangeable between the APS-C and the full frame models from Sony, because Sony has one mount and they are pushing that message, and I think I know why. For example, Canon has 3 mounts. They have their EF mount for their SLRs, digital SLRs. They have their RF mount for the new mirrorless range of cameras. And they have those little M mount for their M50, the EOS M mount lenses. So they have 3 mounts. Nikon has 2. Sony has 1. 1 mount, 1 lens mount, and it works with all of their interchangeable lens cameras. So that's pretty amazing. You don't have to worry about buying the right lens, or if you sell a camera, ooh, I have to sell my lens, because Sony does offer that 1 mount. And that's what's really cool about Sony. They're kind of a few years ahead of the curve above everyone else. And while Canon just released their new cameras, the 90D and the M6, is it the Mark II? I have not handled those, but I've spoken with reviewers who have used both the Canon and the new Sony, and they say the Sony just kills the Canon still with its autofocus capabilities. So if you look at this A6600, it's like an A6400 with the bigger grip, the much better Z battery, and the eye autofocus during video. Also has 5-axis image stabilization. I used the camera for a little bit. I was hanging out with Ted Forbes from Art of Photography.
Man, maybe it's time to shave, boys. Well, look, that's Coney Island's that way.
Shave what?
This.
You heard it here first. Ted's gonna shave his head, so he looks like Gordon and
Yeah, it's the
myself
way forward.
right here.
Oh, I thought he was going to shave.
All right, look who I ran into, Poncho.
Pancho Villa. I'm here. I made it.
You're Cisco, right?
I'm Cisco, you're
Cisco.
Poncho.
You want to go birding? Right here.
We can go birding.
Like you're like croned, man. You look good all the time. And I'm like sitting here with like Bozo the clown hair. No, flat on the top. No.
I wish I had that much hair. I really do. We're in Coney Island.
Like now it's Aerosmith cues in. This is your soundtrack. Dream on, dream on, dream on. Ah! Every time I look in the mirror,
Then what?
I see your face growing clear. And I look in the mirror. All these lines.
All these lines.
in my face.
No, they didn't. This guy's I'm angry. Break into this to show the hardest working man in camera reviews.
He is.
Gordon Laing, Camera Labs, right here.
Gordon, you
I'm being
inspire me,
serious too. I'm not even joking.
No, both of us are. Look, she's pissed off.
She's like, damn Ted Forbes. Ruined her whole Sony trip.
You were in Christmas.
And we had a good time at Coney Island, as you saw. As far as the camera, to me it feels like a 6400 with a little bit of juice pumped into it, so it's like a stronger, better, faster 6400. I'm showing you the few images I snapped with it. I had no issues with it. The autofocus was fast, the tracking worked well. The only thing I noticed was the IAF for video, or even photo. If you're in a dimly lit situation, it had a little bit of a harder time locking onto the eye than the Sony A7R Mark IV, but the A7R Mark IV is like their high resolution, full frame, expensive beast, right? This is a more affordable version, so maybe there's some reason why it wasn't locking onto the eye in the darker situations, but who's going to be, you know, shooting a model or shooting a human in a dark situation? So it might have a little bit of problem locking on in lower light to those eyeballs because the camera has to see the eyeballs in order to lock on. Great camera, $1,400. What I really liked was the 16-55 lens. That, in my opinion, is Sony's best APS-C lens. I would hop on that. If you shoot exclusively Sony APS-C, I would take a good look at that 16-50 lens. It was small, light, but felt really well made, and it was beautiful. They're calling the 6600 the professional model, the 6400 the advanced model, and the 6100, the brand new 6100, sort of the beginner standard model. They all have the 24 megapixel sensor. They're all fast, but you pick which one you want. Just like if you're buying a car, you pick your features, right? The cameras are more advanced than we are, so you can't go wrong. You kind of just pick your features and figure out what it is you want. But I had a great time in New York, that short one day that I was there. I enjoyed using the camera. I enjoyed meeting up with friends who I see every so often on these trips. And the A6600, while not blowing me away or exciting me to the moon, it's still a great option for APS-C shooters, and it proves that Sony is not abandoning APS-C. Instead, they're strengthening it with new lenses, right? The 70-350 zoom is also quite nice, just under $1,000. If you want more information about the 6600, links in the description below. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. All right, come on, Gordon.
Come on.
He's like, no, I'm staying far away from you.
All right, it's your job.
All right, let's do it, man.
All right, come on, no fear.
All right, we're doing it.
All right. Oh, look at you, the GoPro. Sweet. All right, hold on to that. You're gonna.
I'm gonna try. Oh my goodness.
Looking. Oh no. Patrick, how did you talk me into this?
Oh no. You know what?
Oh.
What do you think here?
I'm sorry, Jake.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Oh no!
Hello, New York City.